Welcome to the Sbo Presidential Debate. We have for our first candidates the secretaries. We have Megan Smoot and Rachel Roylance. I will start with the first question, and this question actually comes from a student from Viewmont. What is something new you will bring to the school? We will start with Megan.
I think something new is like new school spirit, kind of new student section, have everyone come get involved. I think we can have a new attitude about how we view coming together as a school and even as a community, just coming together in that essence.
All right, Rachel, do you have anything for Megan?
Yeah, how are you going to get everybody to come and support? Because not everybody has, wants to come and do that. How are you going to get them to come?
I'm going to advertise more, make everyone feel comfortable coming to games, thinking that everyone can come get involved, go to more games, like not just football games. Everyone can just come and feel welcome.
Okay, here's a question for you, Rachel. What feasible change could you bring about to improve the quality of Viewmont High School?
I think that we could improve, the way we run things a little bit better. I mean, we do a great job with everything that we do, all of our fundraisers, but I think we could have a little bit more order and it would make things run a lot smoother.
All right, Megan, do you have anything for Rachel?
How are you going to get things to run more smooth and be more organized?
I'm pretty good at organization, and I think that if we just, things take time and we need to, sometimes hurry, but if we slow down and take the time, I think we'll be able to make things a lot smoother and it'll run easily instead of trying to rush through and get things done.
Okay. Megan, here's a question for you. Are you willing to stay long hours and be at the school to fulfill all that you promised during your speech?
Of course, I think that it's important that we follow through, and I think it's important that we can give everything back that we promise, and we can make this year great with everything that we do. And I don't mind staying long hours. The school is great.
All right, Rachel?
Would you stay even if let's say you had a ton of homework and you had a giant project due, but there was no way you could not do it, would you still stay?
Yes, I think it's very important to follow through. Sometimes sleep is a little overrated anyway. We can get everything done if I organize things and make sure everything is kind of organized in the time essence.
All right. Here's something that the secretary is in charge of. The secretary is in charge of clubs. So, Rachel, here's your question. How are you going to raise support for the smaller clubs at Viewmont?
The smaller clubs, they don't get a lot of attention, but I feel like advertising, getting it out there, posters, morning announcements, making sure people know what the clubs are and what they do and just what they do and how things run, so they know, hey, maybe I like that, and they know that they can be a part of it.
All right, Megan, do you have anything for Rachel?
How are you going to advertise more so everyone will know what all the clubs are about?
We have morning announcements. I think that would be a great way. We watch the videos, and even if you don't watch the videos, I think posters are a great way. Put them in the halls, people see them, walk past them every day.
All right. Megan, here's your next question. What is your mission statement for implementing positive change through the student body?
I think more than anything, I think everyone should feel included. I think everyone should be united. Everyone deserves to be somebody here, and I think everyone needs to feel united and feel like they belong here, because that's really important.
Okay, Rachel?
How are you going to make everyone feel that they belong and that we're united and that we're one?
I think that one person can do a lot, and I think even just me going around to a bunch of different friend groups trying to unite everyone together, because I know how much more fun it is when you have a lot of friends, and I know how great it can feel to belong to someone. So I think if everyone worked harder on being together as friends, then it would work out better.
Okay, thank you, ladies. We are actually out of time, and we will now move on to our next candidates, the vice president.
Alright, so here we have our vice president candidates. Here we have Emma Hickson and Henry Ashton. And once again, these questions do come from the students. Alright, so our first question is going to be for Emma. Should FUMA adjust the budget so we spend less on sports and dances and more on improving the quality of school lunches?
I think that the budget should be distributed equally towards all the different things that we need to pay for and go towards, because I feel like it'll make it more fair, and then we can distribute things and make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to be recognized and presented.
Alright, Henry, do you have any questions for him?
Yeah, you said it should be distributed equally, but what if the students that attend won't be as popular? What if not as much attendance occurs?
I don't think it matters the attendance or popularity or things like that. I think it's just important that each club or each organization has an opportunity to be presented to the best of their abilities and to represent their club or their ideas.
Alrighty. Henry, how will you help students as individuals next year?
Well, I see myself as a role model, and I'll be in charge of Guadalupe, and that's all about role model. The Guadalupe students will look up to me, and I feel like I can carry that over to our own school, and I think I'll lead by example, and I'll be a good role model.
Alright, Emma, do you have any questions?
What will you do to personally connect with each of the students that you are being a role model for?
Well, I'll go to all the school activities and I'll be rambunctious with everyone and speak out and start the chants or whatever needs to be done. I'll be a part of the students. I'll be just like you guys out there.
Alrighty. Emma, what have you done to support our school?
I go to games. I love games. I love supporting every different organization. I go to games. I've been a part of band. I love that. I just try to be a part of everything that I can. So whether it be band, sports, I think it's just important to get involved and to be a part of the school as a community and as an organization and as a student body.
Any questions from you, Henry?
No.
Alright. Henry, it is well known cliques are prominent in suburban high school. How would you, as a candidate, break the culture of cliques?
Well, my personal experience with dance is you notice the kids on the outside and then the kids on the inside, and everyone has everyone has something in common, and if we find that something in common, I think the cliques will just disappear and friends will be made throughout all of the school.
Emma, do you have any questions?
What will you do to personally invite other students into your group or into your friend group?
I'll be more out there. I'll put myself out there. I'll go introduce myself to kids that may not be as out there themselves, and I'll hey, come over here, come talk to us. Let's hear more about you.
Alrighty. Emma, why do you deserve to take this leadership position upon yourself?
I think it's important for everyone to have an opportunity to have a leadership position and to be a part of something throughout their high school experience. And it doesn't have to be necessarily something big, but I think that student body vice president would be good for me because it's an important opportunity to learn how to serve and have more service opportunities and to become a role model and be someone for other students to look up to.
Henry, do you have any questions?
Yeah, you said it would be a good opportunity for vice presidents, but what would you do yourself to show that you would be a leader?
I think it's important to take a leap and to be the person that, I wouldn't say a trendsetter, but be the person that is the first person to start things and to be like, hey, let's get involved with this, let's do this, let's make sure that everyone is included.
Alrighty. Henry, what is the role of student government in training new voters in the United States government?
New voters in the government? I think, well, we turn 18 as seniors, and that's when you become a citizen and you can vote, and I feel like high school is a place where you start learning about the government, you start learning about how the world works, and it's the best position to learn how to do it, and if you are taught right, you'll be an influence in the government, and I'll take it upon myself to make sure people are doing the right things, and yeah.
Alright. Emma, do you have any questions for Henry?
What similarities do you see between student government positions and maybe other leadership positions in everyday life?
Well, you always see President Obama, Biden, you always see them as being out there. They address situations. And as SBO, you would address the situation of the school and you would address the problems and you would work with the students to fix those problems. And I feel like that's what all leaders do in themselves.
Alright, thanks guys. We're out of time. That was a great debate. Now we'll move over to our presidential candidates.
Alright, these are our president candidates for next year. This is Spencer Vogrenick and Zach Jepson. The first question is, what inspires you to keep trying every time you make a mistake? Spencer.
Well, what inspires me to keep trying is knowing that we can be better. In Viewmont, we're not perfect. We have some flaws at Viewmont, but we can make those flaws, we can correct those flaws and make them better. And that's what makes me keep trying.
Zach, do you have any questions for him?
How exactly do you think you could improve on those flaws? Like, what techniques could you use?
Well, we can improve by making sure that we have great unity, which we already have, and we can improve on that by making sure everyone is friends with everyone. And we can also make sure that we have great support for our sports and clubs.
All right. What do you think your opponent is good at, Zach?
Well, we've seen today in our speech that Spencer's really funny. He's great with his humor, and he's a good talker. He does very well with public speaking. He's very sociable, very friendly, and he's all in all a great person.
Spencer, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. But what do you see about yourself that is good for this?
Well, in myself, I see myself as a hard worker. I'm determined. I just, all in all, every time I make a mistake, every time I fail, I want to get up, get back going, and I don't know, I feel like I'm bragging about myself, but I'm a pretty great person.
Spencer, how would you handle bullying when you see it in the halls? Or hear about it, or just bullying in general?
Well, with bullying, I think it's a lot of misunderstanding there. And I think going and talking to each individual and hearing what matters to them in that aspect of their life, and going and talking to each person, having them talk together, I think that could really help. And being friends with both of them, and then you can be the middle ground, and I think that can help solve the bullying problem.
Zach?
How would you combat bullying on social media, as Facebook, Twitter? How would you rebuttal that?
Well, with bullying on social media and Facebook and all of those, I think one way to help that is to make sure that everything that we do on social media stays positive, because we can't control what other people do on social media, but if we're providing a good image and a good role model for everyone else, then that'll lift them up above the bullying and hopefully bring them out of that.
All right. Zach, what are your goals if you're elected?
My goals as president of the SBOs and of the school would be to focus on the students this year. Make it so everything we do would come from the students. I listen to your suggestions, listen to you on school dances, activities, anything that involves you guys. I would listen to you and take your voice into consideration.
Spencer?
So how exactly are you going to make sure that we get everyone involved and make sure you hear everyone's needs?
Well, I would take time out of my day, out of lunch, and around school and classes. I would go up to students. I would ask them face-to-face, personally, listen to them, and listen to what they have to say.
Spencer, who is a role model you have, and how do you try to emulate them?
Well, one of my role models, I have many, is my dad. And he's really great at talking to people and understanding them and their point of views. And how I try to be like that is when I hear of what someone did, I try to look at it from their perspective and see what matters to them. And I try to look at it from their perspective and their angle so that I can understand it and that I can be more like my dad and his role model.
Zach?
How do you think, is there any other ways that your dad has had an effect on you in your life?
Well, totally. He's my dad, so I try to be like him. He's a great person. And I know that as I try to do better and I try to be nicer to people and I make sure that Viewmont is happy, I think that would be emulating him in a great way.
All right, and that is all the time we have, so let's say thank you to Zach and Spencer. The final voting for the presidential candidates will be on Thursday and Friday this week during your English classes. Stay classy, Viewmont.